So what are the challenges that you face when you're actually doing testing in a staging environment? One is basically limited scale. Yes, your test environment or your staging environment will not be as powerful as your production environment. You may not actually have the same CPU capacity or the memory capacity, or the number of servers that you might be using may not be as good as what you actually have in a production environment. Now, when it comes to applications also, there might be differences. So what I've seen is you may not actually have failover servers configured. When you're doing testing in production, you should also be aware of the risk that it can actually cause. One is basically if you're trying to actually put an unstable code into production, there's a good chance that you can actually go and corrupt the data that is already there. It can definitely cause application slowness. There has been a lot of discussion around doing testing, performance testing in production. It can definitely slow down your application. Or if you have a large number of testers, maybe like 50 testers coming and doing some type of test on a particular feature, it can definitely slow down your application. Now, there are various ways of doing testing in production. There are at least I would say like 10 to 12 different ways. The first one being code instrumentation. The second method that is very useful is basically called real user monitoring. Now, let's quickly take a look at some of the best practices that you can actually look at from testing in production standpoint. One is don't try to do testing when there are a large number of users using your system. You should also be looking at the benefits as well as the risk associated with each of these types of tests or practices that we discussed in the previous slide, and then picking the right types of tests based on your use case.